Good morning, scientists. Your warm-up for today? Why do you think that it's called the circulatory system? Think about what a system is. Pause. Go ahead and write your answer in your warm-up sheet that you have dated Friday, April 3rd. And when you're finished, go ahead and turn this back on to see the suggested answer. So a possible warm-up answer, the idea is that a system is an arrangement of things or a group of related things or parts that work toward a common goal. So the circulatory system is definitely a group of coordinated parts, blood vessels, that their goal is to carry blood away from and to the heart, carrying oxygen, nutrients, hormones to cells, and then removing waste products. Okay, your heart rate lab. If you want to pause here and just look at some suggested answers from your heart rate lab. And here, as you turn in your heart rate lab to show me, I'll be looking at your graph. What I should see are two lines that should be gradually decreasing. Now, number 7 wasn't explained in the previous sheet. So the idea that using what you know about respiratory system, circulatory system, digestive system, and respiration, the idea here is that you would talk about the fact that for energy, we need respiration. And when you're exercising, you're needing more energy. So more respiration has to happen. For that to happen, we need to take in more oxygen. So for that, we need the respiratory system. And then we use the circulatory system to take that oxygen to the cells so respiration can happen. For respiration to happen, we know that the digestive system plays a key role in providing the glucose. So the idea here is that all these systems are working together to bring the oxygen and the glucose together in the cells for respiration to happen. And when you're exercising, that needs to happen more. So you're going to breathe faster. You're going to, then your heart rate is going to have to increase so that it can pump those needed nutrients and gases to your cells. Okay, so today you're going to be doing the circulatory system gizmo. Go ahead and pause this. And if you would go to Google Classroom, you will see, anyway, you will see that there is a gizmo circulatory system sheet there that I'd like you to put in Notability. It looks like this. Then you'll go ahead and go to explorelearning.com. Some of you have the app and you want to choose the circulatory system. Remember, you want to click on log in. And when you log in, you're going to log in as AD student and then a number 1 through 20, all lowercase. And your password will be Gizmo, all lowercase. You don't want to choose the start trial. You want to make sure you're choosing login and then go ahead and launch. And it should look like this. All right, as we always do, we're going to go ahead and do the warm-up, the prior knowledge questions and the Gizmo warm-up together. So the question is, why do you need blood? So take a couple minutes and write down the answers to questions, why do you need blood and what organ pushes blood through your body? In the warm-up, it says that the circulatory system gizmo shows the heart and the blood vessels that make up the circulatory system, and it wants you to look at the heart and answer the questions 1 and 2. go ahead and do that. You can pause here and then I will display a slide with the answers. So you can see, as you were looking at the gizmo, you can see the heart pumping, and you can see all of the blood vessels there. So you're going to be doing a little investigating today. All right, moving on. It's asking you now in the gizmo to click on Show Labels. When you click on Show Labels, it's then going to ask you to name those chambers. Look at number 4. You're observing the two parts of the heartbeat. The first one is that lub and the second is the dub. So what are the chambers that are contracting to make that lub and then the dub? And then your challenge question number 5. If you want to go ahead and pause and then turn it back on when you're finished to check your answers. All right, to set up your gizmo, as always, it is going to be very important for you to follow along the instructions in these gizmos. They take you through step by step every single thing that you need to do. But you have to read all of the instructions. So number 1, you'll see the setup has you turning off Show Labels, which is right here, and turning on Show Blood Flow. In this gizmo, they have these little balls that are moving through the circulatory system, and that's representing the blood in the chambers as they move through the heart and the lungs. Now I put a reminder for number 2. You have 3 things to do in number 2. You then have to turn on Show Labels. You then are to label the 4 chambers of the heart on the diagram that you see. Then you're drawing arrows to show the direction that blood is flowing through the heart. And then starting at the right atrium, right here, in what order does the blood flow through those 4 chambers? So just make sure, again, you're reading all the directions. So this is what you're labeling and drawing the arrows in. Again, you are going to answer these questions. I'm going to walk you through number 4 where you're collecting data. You're to use the syringe to collect a blood sample. The way that you're doing this is you're simply going to take the syringe. It's asking you to first of all collect a sample from the right side or the blue side of the heart. So you're going to take your syringe, and you'll notice it even gives you little points where you can put your syringe. So I'm going to just go ahead and put mine here. You can put yours anywhere on the blue side. And then it's asking you to tell what the concentration of oxygen is in the sample. And you'll notice here, my oxygen is 35.8. Then it asks you the concentration of carbon dioxide. And you can see this is in that gray box is where you're finding the information that you need. Then number 5 is asking you to collect it from the red side, which is the left side. I'm just going to collect it from there, and you can see what happens to the oxygen and carbon dioxide levels. Write those down. And then number 6 is asking you to draw conclusions. All right, for part B, you always want to Look at how they want you to set up your gizmo for part B. So here you're clicking show labels and show blood flow. Once again, you're just going to follow the instructions. It says here for number 2, the gizmo shows 3 types of blood vessels. Arteries, and it explains what they do. Capillaries explains what they do. And veins explains what they do. You're going to use the syringe to take blood samples from several different veins and arteries. So you literally want to go, and you've got labels here and blood flow they wanted you to show. Knowing which are the arteries and which are the veins. That's going to be a vein. That's going to be a vein. This is going to be an artery, and these are going to be the capillaries. All right, so I'm going to let you go and work on this. Again, it will be completion, so just do your very best. Part C, which is the extension, this is extra credit. So you do not have to do this, but I think some of you who are very interested in this are going to find it very interesting, because you're going to be using the syringe and you're going to be taking samples of blood from all over and trying to determine from those samples where the sugar enters the blood, where it's removed. So for this, you're going to want to think back to what you learned about the digestive system, the respiratory system, all of your systems, and use that information to even guide where you're taking your samples. And again, I want you to have a great day. Your office hours, my office hours, are from 1 to 2 today and tomorrow. I love you. I'm praying for you and your families. Don't forget to go ahead and look through every single part of the plan for Friday, April 3rd. You'll notice that the gizmo is due in Shobi by 10 a.m. on Monday. And if you're choosing to do the study guide, that is optional. That will be due in Shobi by 10 a.m. as well for extra credit. Okay, have a great day. And if you have any questions, either write them in Google Classroom so other people who might have the same question can see your questions, or show up for office hours.